Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's jump right into a success story that honestly seems a little impossible at first glance. We're talking about a creator who completely bypassed expensive, time-consuming production to build a massive audience using incredibly simple visuals. For anyone who's ever felt held back by the technical barriers of content creation, the source material we're unpacking today is going to completely change how you view the process. We're looking at exactly how to master AI Stickman animation for exactly $0.
90,000. That is a staggering number, right? Well, that represents the subscriber count a brand new channel called KnowSense hit in literally 3 short months. In this space, building an audience of nearly 100,000 people in roughly 90 days is just lightning fast. Usually, it takes creators years of grinding, upgrading gear, and learning complex software to even get a fraction of that attention. But KnowSense did it in a fraction of the time, which really proves that the algorithm doesn't care about your budget, it cares about your message. Today, we're going to reverse engineer this whole thing. But what's truly fascinating here, the real kicker, is the stark contrast. They built this wild success and are making a significant amount of revenue using only 45 videos. And get this, those original videos didn't even use animation. They were just static Stickman images, the exact kind of doodles you'd draw during a boring meeting. They didn't draw complex characters or animate intricate movements, they just paired basic, motionless stick figures with a really good script, and it resonated with millions. It's the ultimate proof that the barrier to entry is entirely in our heads.
So here is our blueprint for today's Explainer. First, the viral success story. Second, the master prompt strategy. Third, step-by-step AI animation. And finally, voiceover and final assembly.
All right, Section 1. The secret sauce. The master prompt. Now, before we look at the specific software tools, we really need to understand the underlying engine that makes this fast, easy content creation possible. Without this foundation, you'd spend hours piecing together disparate parts of a project, which totally defeats the purpose. So instead of writing piece by piece, you use what's called a master prompt. Think of this as a single text command that essentially acts as your entire production team. You feed this master prompt into the AI, and it handles everything from start to finish. It simultaneously dictates the visual image concepts, the sound and voiceover script, and the overarching video production direction. You aren't just asking an AI to write a quick script, you're commanding it to architect an entire multimedia project in one single go.
Section 2. The free AI tool stack.
You're going to pass your master prompt through 4 distinct phases to go from a simple idea to a finished animated video. We start with ChatGPT for the script, move to Google Gemini for the visuals, use a Grok extension for the animation, and finish with Google AI Studio for the voice. And the absolute best part, every single one of these tools is completely free. That means your only investment to build this entire automated pipeline is just a few minutes of your time.
Okay, step 1. You start by pasting your master prompt, along with the specific topic you want to cover, directly into ChatGPT. Because of how the master prompt is designed, ChatGPT immediately acts as your storyboard artist. It generates not just the spoken script, but the specific visual instructions for every single scene. It breaks your idea down into a highly logical scene-by-scene storyboard, giving you the exact camera angles, the character poses, and the precise dialogue needed to make the video compelling from the first second to the last.
Next up, step 2. You take those exact visual instructions that ChatGPT just generated and you bring them right over to Google Gemini. By using Gemini to generate your images scene by scene, you ensure that your Stickman character stays perfectly consistent across the whole story. This is how you avoid that weird AI glitch where your character's shirt mysteriously changes color every 5 seconds, you know? You simply split your screen, paste the prompts into the Create Image option one by one, and download the resulting photos. And boom, you have a folder full of your main character acting out the entire script perfectly. Now for step 3. This is where the real magic happens. Remember earlier when we mentioned the original viral channel just used static images? Well, we are gonna step it up and animate ours without drawing a single frame. To do this, you install and pin a third-party Grok Automation browser extension from the Google Web Store. Once it's installed, you choose the Frame to Video option. This brilliant little extension takes your static Gemini images, processes them, and breathes literal life into them, transforming motionless stickmen into dynamic, moving scenes.
But quick pro tip time here, because software automation is powerful, but it is also incredibly literal. If you want this automation extension to work properly, you absolutely have to follow a set of strict rules. First, you must have the Grok website open and be logged in. Second, you have to upload your downloaded photos in the exact correct order. Third, when you paste your video prompts from ChatGPT into the extension, you need to know that every 2 new lines creates a new prompt, so formatting is absolutely key here. And most importantly, do not close the Grok tab at all while it's working. Just let it render. Once it finishes, it automatically downloads your newly animated video clips right into a folder on your computer.
Step 4 is adding the audio. You take the text script that ChatGPT generated back in Step 1, and you paste it right into Google AI Studio. Specifically, you want to use the Gemini 2.5 Flash Preview Text-to-Speech model. You select a single speaker, and in the style instructions, you request a warm and motivational tone. You hit run, the AI perfectly narrates your script with highly realistic human-like inflection, and you simply download the audio file. It is that easy.
Which brings us to Section 3, Final Assembly and the 5-minute rule.
So now that you have a folder of animated video clips and the professional audio track, you just combine them in any free editing software by lining up the voiceover with the right clips. The crucial point is that this takes just a few minutes. And let's look at the fascinating final product this exact workflow created. The generated video opens with a highly relatable question. Ever feel too overwhelmed to even start? It is the perfect hook. It immediately connects with that very personal experience of looking at a massive to-do list and feeling totally paralyzed. The animated narrator then explains the psychology behind this feeling, saying, the work feels heavy before you even open your laptop. So instead, you scroll. The problem isn't laziness. It's that the task feels too big. I mean, we've all been there, right? Staring at a closed laptop, choosing to doom scroll instead of actually working. But this is such an important reframe. Our hesitation isn't a flaw in our character. We aren't just lazy. It is simply our brain reacting defensively to a task that appears completely insurmountable in the moment.
To solve this, the video delivers its core message. Here's a simple trick, the 5-minute rule. Set a timer for just 5 minutes and promise yourself you'll stop after that. By negotiating just a tiny 5-minute window of effort with yourself, all the pressure instantly disappears. You're promising your brain that you don't have to finish the whole massive project today. You only have to work for 5 minutes, and then you have total permission to stop. The relief that brings to your mind is immediate.
And here is the real secret behind the rule. The video continues. Progress feels good. Momentum builds. 5 minutes often turns into much more. Now the task isn't scary anymore. Once you actually begin, that tiny bit of progress feels genuinely good. Your brain shifts gears. The scary, insurmountable ask suddenly becomes totally doable. Momentum takes over where willpower failed, and those 5 minutes frequently turn into a highly productive hour or more. And ironically, this applies perfectly to creating content. The thought of making a whole animated video? Terrifying. But opening ChatGPT and generating just one prompt for 5 minutes? That's incredibly easy.
Motivation doesn't just magically arrive before you take action. Motivation is the actual result of taking action. You now know this entirely free AI tool stack exists, and you know that you can animate and build an audience without drawing a single line or spending a single dollar. So the only question left is, what will you build with your first 5 minutes today?